For many of us, our sense of style and fashion did not get to develop until a few years later. But if you are in that space where you want to start dressing better, start appearing better every day of your life, here are 5 things that I wish my younger self trying to figure out her style and trying to understand fashion would have known. Welcome to today's video.
How you like that?
The first thing that I would tell my younger self about fashion is everybody's style will not be yours. Everybody will not look like you, and you will not look like everybody. First of all, the way God has designed all of us, we have different body types, we have different things that we like or do not like. So it is okay not to look like everybody. Sometimes we are so caught up with this idea of wanting to look like the crowd. Oh, everybody at my workplace dresses this certain way, I have to dress that way. No, everybody puts on this particular thing on Mondays at my workplace, I need to know. Sometimes wanting to follow the crowd with how they do things is how you end up not understanding your personal style at all. You end up just following the bandwagon, and it doesn't help you be the best in a creative way that you could be as a fashion guru. The second thing that I would tell my younger self about fashion is you need to be able to show up unapologetically. You want to carry your hair like this in a place filled with Caucasians? Go ahead and do it. As far as it looks neat, you've looked at it in the mirror, you look good with your outfit, go ahead and appear unapologetically, because it is you, it is your style, and it is who you are. It goes with the first point, of course, and that's why this comes as the second. Appear unapologetically. As far as you have your mirror, which is your best friend, I think you are good to go. We just think too much about things sometimes, and these things are not even necessary. Third thing I would want to tell my younger self about fashion and style is that people are looking at you. They are. I went through an entire phase in my university life where I was not interested in searching out clothes in a very practical manner, in a very decisive manner. I would just look into my box. The first thing that came to my hands, I will pick up and I will leave the house with it, or I will leave my hostel with it. And my good roommates will want to run behind me and say, this thing you're wearing, it doesn't go. It doesn't. And I'll just be like, who is looking at me? People are looking at you. In fact, the first thing people see before they see your brain, which you may have, your intelligence, which you may have, or your knowledge, which you may have, are your clothes, your appearance. So how do you look? That's the first thing that people see when they meet you. So people are looking at you. Do not fall into that self-deception that really stems sometimes from low self-esteem or low self-regard, that people are not looking at you. They are. So what is the image or the perception you want people to have of you first? And it is important. Yes, you should not care what people think or what people say, but you should care how you appear, because how you appear will always be a credit to you first before any other person. It is part of your rep. It is part of who you are. People are looking at you, and take that very seriously. The fourth thing that I would tell my younger self is you have inspiration all around you. You just need to open up your eyes, open up your heart, and be ready to see and receive it. You have inspiration everywhere. There were people who dressed so well in those times when I didn't even want to think about fashion. There were people whose style could have been a pace setter for me, a thing to learn from, but my mind was just close to it, and it took me years and years, almost when I was about to finish university, before I started to take inspiration from sources, started to look at things and actually take the advice of e-fashion police and all of that I've been watching from my teenagers, and actually start to implement them. I started watching so many fashion shows on e-channel, and that's when I should have realized that I actually have a passion for fashion and styling, but I did not take it seriously. Back to my last point, who is looking at me, right? So that's what I kept putting in my head, and it wasn't until I made that switch in my mind that I could actually take inspiration from others, and that I started to remember the things that Joan Rivers and her e-fashion police crew used to say, and then get inspiration from people, see what they wear, see how they tie scarves. I used to love scarves in those days and things like that. Before I started to implement them, it took me a while, but I wish I had understood that earlier. These days I see 13-year-olds, 14-year-olds looking so good in their own personal style, in their own personal way. It may look childish to you who is grown, but you look at them and you just know this person has a future in fashion. Like, this person has a future in looking good all the time. So that mode of expression from a very young age, I wish I had it. And so if you are this age, whatever you are, 15, 16, 20 something, 30 something, 40 something, it's not too late. Start to get inspiration from others and you will see your fashion game transform. Last thing I wish I had known in my younger days about fashion and style is that how you look will actually affect your day. If you look so good, nobody can tell you anything. You are confident throughout the day. You have your wits around you. Even if you do not know what you're doing, you feel like you know what you're doing. Because first of all, the aura you will come in with is one of confidence. And there's something about confidence. There's something about entering a room already knowing that people will look at you in a very admirable and respectful way before you even go into that room. It makes you feel, okay, I may not know what I want to do, what I want to say, but I already have attention of others. So why don't I use that attention in a sensible way? So it kind of directs everything that happens afterwards. But just imagine you enter a room looking shabby, smelling bad, shoes not clean, hair haggard. You already feel down. The thing is, you know these things by yourself. By the time you are going into a room, you already know how you feel about yourself, and it affects everything else that happens at the end of the day. You are not confident enough, you are not stylish enough, so you do not give your best, you are not productive. But try it and look very good on a day. Look fantastic, hair done, perfume very good, shoes clean, clothes pressed, ironed. You'll see how it impacts your day. You'll thank me later. Those are 5 things that I wish my younger self had known about fashion and personal style. And remember, the point of this is to say that it is not too late. Even though my younger self did not know all of that then, I'm proud of how I style myself now and how my fashion choices are shaping my life now. Which means even though I didn't start that early, I started at a certain point, and today can be your certain point. You can start caring more about your appearance and your fashion, and these 5 tips I've just given will help you. Remember to like, share, subscribe, and I will see you in my next one. Bye bye.